I have 5 o'clock.
Me too. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Peterborough, New Hampshire Select Board meeting for April 6th. It's 5 p.m., right on the money. Small agenda this evening. We're going to change it up a little bit and start with ambulance service revised rates update. Chief Ed Walker is here with us. We'll also discuss a community center garden memorandum of understanding. That's the plot of garden backed by the community center that the Cornucopia project had started up and is now worked with volunteers. We'll vote to approve 2021 social services funding requests, and we'll look at the 2020 equalization ratio and authorization to sign with Corcoran Consulting contract. I'm Tyler Ward this evening, and with me are fellow select board members Bill Taylor and Ed Youngst. We also have Town Administrator Nicole McStay taking minutes, and with not in view is Allie Kreutz. And then behind the scenes, as always, Tim Brezovic is running all our technical business. We are live here on Zoom, and we're on Facebook Live, on Ustream if you're accessing the town website, or you might even be able to find us on the YouTube. And as always, these meetings are recorded and archived for later viewing, or you could just read the minutes, which are always spot on. So, with that, welcome, Chief Walker.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you for having me on tonight. So, as you folks are aware, insurance reimbursement is the primary source of revenue for our ambulance fund for both the 911 emergency call side as well as the transfer side. We work closely with our billing company on a consistent basis to evaluate our ambulance rates and look at determining what we should be charging for those services. As we look at this and go through it here, as we look at this and go through it, one of the things to understand or look at is that we very rarely receive 100% of what we bill the patient for. Nicole just shared up here what we're proposing for our 2021 ambulance rates compared to the existing rates. The existing rates were most recently done back in 2014, and we have been consistently reevaluating those. You know, as we talked about through the budget process, Medicare and Medicaid are the highest payers, and we have a contract with them. So just to give you some examples, and I'll read off of here. For Medicare, for mileage, their contract rate is $11.55 a mile. So regardless of what we charge, that's what they'll be reimbursing us. For non-emergent ALS service, which is the, what we call an ALS level 1 there, our bill was $668.40. I mean, they're going to be reimbursing us at $294.94. So I mean, their rates are a much lower rate when we look at that. The reason that we look at having a rate that is higher than that is to keep our rates both competitive with what the national averages are for ambulance service and our New Hampshire rates, and also the fact that there are some private insurers and private payers that will pay that entire rate, including motor vehicle insurance, quite often for accidents and injuries. So the rates that you have in front of you is a comparison of our existing rate, which, as I said, were most recently done in 2014, and our proposed fee. One thing that is a change here, if you look down under ALS Intercept, is we're looking to have a variable rate for that. The way ALS Intercepts work is if a community that does not offer ALS, which is advanced EMT or paramedic level service, needs that service, they can call a neighboring service. We usually have AEMTs or paramedics on staff, on duty, so we can send over. There have been times where we've used paramedics out of Jaffrey or used AEMTs out of Antrim when we didn't have them available in our town. So the rate that we'll be billing those other services for the Intercept is based upon the level of care that we're providing. So again, your ALS, what's called ALS1, ALS2, or a specialty care transport rate. And that is the reason those rates are significantly different, is the patient is billed at a higher level based upon that level of care and what they have there. So as we looked at these numbers, Deputy Robley, Matt Robley, our EMS deputy, went through and did comparison both regionally and across the state. We had conversations with EMAX Medical Billing, Dennis Allen, who is the or runs that over there, about where those numbers fall and where our numbers fall. Just to sort of give you an example, our mileage rate is about 1.25%, the national ratio. Everything else sits around the 90% of the national average for those rates. So we're looking to keep in the national. We're a little bit above much above the Medicare rate, but within the state of New Hampshire, we're also pretty close to just about what our competitive rates are for similar services around the state.
All right, that seems fair. Any questions?
I have one.
Sure.
Sure, Ed.
By increasing those rates, it probably it won't affect anything with Medicare, for example, right? They'll still pay whatever the
Correct,
contract.
yeah. Medicare and Medicaid both.
And Chief, you said it was 2014 when rates were last adjusted?
Yeah, the last time rates were last adjusted, we did look at them. The other factor that plays in that, which I didn't mention, is CMS, which is the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services that set the rates for Medicare and Medicaid, have what they call an RVU, which is a relative value unit, which they use for a national base rate, and then they look at that, an adjustment around different regions in the country. So again, their base rate and their ratios have not significantly changed, so there really wasn't a huge impetus to change our rates. But as other organizations around the state have started to increase their rates, we felt that it was time for us to increase ours also.
Do you need a motion or just any kind of thumbs up from us?
A motion, yes.
Voting yes.
I'll make. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Bill.
I'll make a motion to approve the fee schedule changes.
One thing that I would ask, is, I apologize, it wasn't in the cover memo, was picking a start date. If we could look at thinking and I apologize for not being organized here, looking 2 weeks out. So if we could look at, say, Sunday the 25th for that, that'll have an official start date for this, and that will give our medical billing company a chance to get themselves spun up and ready to go.
Okay, I'll add to my motion effective date of what? Sunday the 25th
Yes, sir.
April
of April.
2021.
That's right.
Right.
I
Excellent.
second it.
A motion and a second. All right. Any further discussion? I think it was a pretty good explanation. It's about time for adjustment of that. So do we have an all in favor? Aye.
I am.
Tyler? All right, 3 affirmatives, 0 negatives. Thanks, Chief.
All right, thank you, folks, and step off. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And shall we just continue it from the start of the list now?
Please.
Great. So, as many people know, and many people take advantage of, the lovely garden behind the community center, it was started by the Cornucopia Project years ago, and I believe, when was that?
When was the garden started?
Yeah, it was quite some time ago, huh?
It was. I think we started working on that in 2010 or 2011, if memory serves.
Right. Okay, and so now they've since left it to volunteers to take care of, and
That is correct. So this memorandum of understanding seeks to formalize the arrangement between the group of volunteers that has been managing the community garden and the recreation department. As with any other formal agreement, it's got to go to the select board for approval. But we think that they've been doing a great job. We'd like to see them continue doing so.
great. Oh, yeah, there it is. Cultivated from 2012 to 2018 by Cornucopia. It's right, it's in the text there of the understanding. And just to be clear, there would be no tax money, there would be no money from the town, no special funds, nothing from the municipality. We are solely, we're the landowners, correct? And so we're allowing some great volunteers to take care of that and keep it beautiful. and I assume are growing food, which then end up probably in, in good places, right?
Yes,
Food pantry and that sort of thing.
yes, many donations to the food pantry have come out of that garden.
All right, and that will then, this memorandum of understanding will then land on our website for people to review and read in perpetuity?
I believe we could do that. I'm sure we can put it up on the rec department's page.
Right, here you go.
All right, and we're just looking to authorize Lisa Betts to sign on behalf of the town.
All right, I'd make that motion to authorize Lisa Betts to sign on behalf of the town.
I'll gladly second that.
Great. Any other questions from Bill or Ed? All right,
Makes sense?
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi, Bill.
Aye, Tyler. Again, another unanimous one. Thank you. Yeah, thanks to the volunteers, and I know Kate Kuhn was involved with that, and also Stephanie Latini. So thank you for that. Next up, as usual, we are fortunate to have in our budget an allotment to get money to social services around town. And this year, we're looking at similar people to last year that had requested.
That is correct. So the purpose of this program is to help fund agencies that provide services that otherwise the taxpayers would be required to support for residents in need. In 2020, you can see that we made $27,155 in contributions. This year, we are looking to make $26,185 worth of contributions to agencies such as home health care, hospice, and community services, Monadnock Family Services, St. Joseph's Community Services, which provides the Meals on Wheels to our region, Monadnock Center for Violence Prevention, Child Advocacy Center of the Monadnock region, and ConVal's End 68 Hours of Hunger. All of these agencies provide great directed service to people who are in need. And honestly, they do a better job than the town could possibly do without them. So we are enthusiastic to support them.
Right, and many volunteers work many hours in those organizations, and
Yes.
right, yeah. All right, seems fair to me. We're in approval of that. Again, you need a motion.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I would move that we approve all of the social service funding applications as were submitted. All of them totaling $26,185.
Motion seconded.
Moved and seconded, and any further discussion? I don't see any questions on Facebook. Of course, they're probably a couple seconds behind. And
I am not muted right now, but it's all right.
okay. All those in favor?
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Ed.
Aye, Tyler. 3 for 3 here.
Another homer.
Next up, oh boy. 2020 equalization ratio and authorized to sign the Corcoran consulting contract.
So you saw the email that we forwarded you from Mary Beth, our contract assessor, demonstrating that our median ratio for this year, for the purpose of processing maintenance and other things, will be 86.8%. And for tax rate setting this year, it's going to be, or it was, I'm sorry, 85.7%, which is incredibly low. That's a very low ratio for us to go, and we try to stay above 96%. It's really time to do a statistical update. We do have money in our proposed budget to do that. I know that it's definitely causes consternation every time we go through this process, but unfortunately we can't let it sit for too much longer.
best. We're in kind of a bubble here with real estate, and sale prices are up there, right?
Yeah, they most certainly are.
Yeah. If you can find something, right? So it may, it may be a little unrealistic to be closer to the actuals, right?
I don't think that the market is gonna retract anytime soon,
No?
at least not prices. There's no real getting around it.
All right.
So what I'm looking for is a motion, if you're good with the contracts, the regular contract for Corcoran Associates work for the town, as well as the contract for statistical update. If you are comfortable with both of those contracts, I just need a motion for you to accept and authorize me to sign them on your behalf.
So moved.
Second. All right. Do we have any further questions or comments? We have a motion in a second. Yeah, Ed.
I do. I always have questions. You know that by now, right? Well, one question was, are we signing two contracts? But you already answered that. The other one that I saw said, when she provides some of the information to us so that we update our records, it said that it could be on paper or electronically. I mean, is it in our benefit to get it electronically? Do we get it electronically?
We do. Yes, we get
Makes it
both
a lot
formats.
easier.
We get it by both formats. We get the electronic version that we use for updating the database and doing those uploads. And we also have a paper, I can't remember what she calls it, I think it's a UPAP report that we're required to have available in office for inspection.
And can you just provide a quick, what's the difference between the two contracts? I mean, I was a little, that's a question that I had after I looked at them before the meeting.
Yep, one contract is just for their regular day-to-day work. So that is their cycled inspections, the work they do, processing abatement requests, that sort of thing. Updating particular properties that people find that, on inspection of their car that they're being taxed for 2 bathrooms when they really only have 1, that sort of thing. So they'll come out and do inspections. That's their regular contract. The second one is specific to this update. Every time we do a townwide update requires an additional contract. And both of these contracts have also been reviewed by New Hampshire Department of Revenue Administration, who advocate on behalf of the taxpayers in this.
Thank you.
And do you happen to know off the top of your head what our ratio was for 2019?
Off the top of my head, I do not. I know it wasn't a whole lot better than, I think it was 88%, but we can certainly go back and look at that.
Okay, we had a motion and a second. No questions?
Yeah, we did it already, okay.
Right. Nothing from Facebook, so all those in favor?
Aye, Ed.
Hi, Bill.
Aye, Tyler.
4 for 4.
Grand slam here.
Okay. So
Next.
I've sent Karen a text message asking her to join us in case you have any questions for Drum, about the Drum report. I do have one piece of other business. The EDA, represented by Bill Kennedy, has emailed myself and Danica asking if it's possible to appoint Cy Gregg and Jeff Brown as members of the Greater Downtown TIF Advisory Committee. They're currently serving as alternates on that committee, but they have a couple of vacancies that they would like to fill for an upcoming meeting.
So moved,
Seconded.
right? Yeah. Not gonna let those two get away.
No, those are two good people, and I know they're too short, so.
All right. All those in favor?
I am.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Tyler. All right. Of course, we all the minutes from March 2nd and March 16th.
Motion to approve.
Second?
And again, looking for
All in favor?
all in favor. We just did this 4 or 5 times, and I forgot. All right. Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Bill.
Aye, Ed.
It gets so the same that goes right past.
I believe that's 6 for 6.
Great.
Right.
Well, we'll give them a hard time on the next one, maybe.
Okay.
Karen is joining. She's having a little bit of a technical problem, but she should be on momentarily.
Okay. So the contract with Drum, I see we have some analytics there.
Yep.
And pretty interesting. I'm sure Karen will give us a quick synopsis.
And I'm just going to say, for anyone who is watching, this is a multi-page report that you can find in the Selectmen's meeting packet on our website.
Right, we could also take this time to let everyone know, all 17 people that are watching this on Facebook, plus any of their family and friends, they can tune in again at 6 p.m. for the virtual question and answer session for town meeting in May 2021, for fiscal year 2022. 6 p.m.
There we go.
Hi, this is Karen.
Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry I can't join with the video.
That's all right, but you can see us, right?
I cannot. I can only hear you, so I'm just doing this with my phone. I couldn't get on.
All right. Well, we do have the Drum contract in front of us with some analytical data. Do you want to quickly summarize that for us? Or?
Well, I was hoping to be able to just answer any questions you may have had about it. I know that the last time there was discussion about this, the board was looking for more analysis of what the results had been. I think in review, as I looked at the report produced by Drum in concert with the marketing committee, there was this a tracking from, basically not having any social media presence and not having any digital presence several years ago to the development of the Peterborough Works website, the social media campaigns that have driven traffic to that site and have also anecdotally and in numbers shown that people are finding Peterborough and are learning about it. So there's been steady traffic, there's been growing audience, the content is pretty darn good. So I think as a whole, my summary would be that that the money has been well invested. I will say that I think in the future, given as much as has been done and the fact that we really are at a place where we can't necessarily attract tourism or be looking to move people here in big numbers, I think I would like to really work with Drum and the marketing committee to reevaluate strategy, to think about, how to use social media and the website in perhaps a different way. So that's generally my, kind of a summary on that. But I'll take any questions the board might have.
See, that was a perfect summary. You were completely ready to give that to us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ed, your question?
Oh, you're still muted, Ed.
No, I looked at the sent, and I don't particularly have any questions. I sometimes am troubled that we're doing stuff that the chamber was supposed to do or did in the past, and now it's the taxpayer expense, but, you know, there's nothing, I mean, that's just my view, that's all. Yeah, but if we're getting good results and it's helping our businesses, and I believe that's the intention, then I guess I'm okay. I just have some doubts, I guess.
Well, I understand that, Ed, and I can tell you that with the merger of the Peterborough Chamber and the Keene Chamber that happened earlier this year, actually late last year, officially, that there will be more effort and money spent and focus from the chamber. In fact, I believe they just got word that there is a $300,000 grant from the Economic Development Administration that they've gotten for promoting the region, and we are part of that. So I have been encouraging our EDA to be thinking more regionally to, in terms of how we invest, and because frankly, we don't live in a bubble. You know, if people are going to come to the southwest corner of New Hampshire, they're going to look at all the towns that are there, they're going to look at what the region has to offer. And so I think that we will, and you'll see reflected, I think it was pretty obvious in the budget for the EDA for this coming year that we are not asking for a big dollar amount. We're looking to really just kind of maintain what has been done and not lose anything, but not really looking to invest a whole lot more, because we really do see that there is this bigger picture that we need to be a part of, and I believe that's the direction. So I think we're going to see some you know, some more certainly investment from the chamber, the new chamber, and as it finds its footing in both areas. So that would be my response to you on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that, and I was hoping that was going to happen when they merged, because hopefully between the two of them, they'll get some benefit kind of cost-wise from doing that merge, and they can then do a better job of, and I like the regional concept also, so thank you for that.
Yes. Yeah, I'm, and as you probably know, when Rodney left, he handed me the seat that he was holding on the Peterborough board, and so I am now one of two members from Peterborough on the joint board. So you know, I have a direct line in to see what's going on and to make sure that Peterborough is well represented and that our business community really does benefit by this merger.
Good. Well, he handed it to the right person, I would say. Right.
Thank you, Ed.
Rodney really handed off a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you saw how he did that. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good, very informative, and appreciate that update.
Great. Well, good. If that's all we have, I will go back. We're almost out of meals, and another good night tonight out here.
Oh yeah, thank you for that.
Oh, sure. You're welcome. Okay.
All right.
Any other questions, or are we all set?
I think we're good.
Okay, great. Good to speak with you all.
You
Thanks,
too.
Karen.
Thanks.
Okay, good night.
I forgot she'd be calling in from the from giving out meals up at SMS. Yeah. All right. I think we ran through that agenda.
I think we did.
Anybody have anything to share? No.
All quiet. So we'll be back at 6.
6 p.m. sharp. Sure. All right. Join us then. All 16 of you on Facebook. I expect to see you all and your family members.
Geez, we lost one, huh?
Yeah. Oh, they're back.
Well, good.